Yeah, I mean, it's definitely changed throughout the course of the years, I think. It's really quiet in here. It's so awkward.
You're working hard, man.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like a museum tour. Welcome.
Yeah. It's changed, right? Like it used to, the way you used to build runs and you could move around and kind of get through the field when you wanted to get track position. And that's really gone away, and now it's a lot of like trying to maintain your track position while saving fuel to have the fastest pit stop. And unfortunately, if like I've seen some fans be like, well, you should just run hard, and if you just run hard, you're going to get beat by the guys who didn't. So we're all just trying to run the best we can, which translates to not running very hard at times, which is kind of just changing intensity. So I think you've seen speedway races like that all year this year, and it'll probably be more of the same.
How does this race being in the playoffs change everything or take it to another level?
I would say stage ends are going to be more aggressive for sure, more meaningful. Other than that, I think it's going to look the same. I think, for all of us, it means more, but we're 10/10s every week, right? So it's not like when it's not a playoff race, we're not trying hard, right? So, I think it'll look similar, maybe just a little more intense at the end of the stages.
How much do you pay attention to the ongoing news of the week and regarding lawsuits and the like?
I mean, no, you're good. It depends on the week. Most of the time, I have Twitter deleted with how Twitter is towards me. So, it looked like you guys had a really quiet week. So, it seemed quiet.
Yeah.
Were you busy?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. What as you stayed up on top of everything, or what are your thoughts?
It's just been interesting to read everything, right? Like I think as a driver, my views are so different. Like how I view the sport and like what I do is so different than what somebody that runs a team does or that a fan views it as. So it's been interesting just to read everybody's different views and see how fans think things work and how the team owners feel and how things feel from my perspective. So everybody's just got such a different perspective on the sport. That has been the most interesting thing for me. Like obviously beyond that, I just try to drive a race car.
I mean, do you look at it all like, well, what happens if could this impact how I get paid and how much I get paid?
Yeah, maybe. I guess I don't really know. Certainly not a legal expert by any means, and I've bumped my head a few times, so I'm probably not that smart. Probably the wrong guy to ask, but it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. It's been a good week for reading, at least, for sure.
Alex, looking ahead to next week's Roval, have you been around the track, walked it, and then looked at the changes in 6 and 7?
I have not been to the track physically. I've just run it in the sim. Turn 6 is like 100% blind. You can't see it until you're there, which is pretty interesting. Like at least in the sim, like your lift mark is before you can see the corner. So that's definitely different. And turn 7 is like making a U-turn on a one-way street. So it's gonna be chaos for sure.
When your wheels get off the ground, between turn 6 when you're going up that hill, it's blind. You're trying to turn. Are your wheels going to be?
It's hard to say, right? Because until we do it, like none of us really know how close the sim is to real life because you can't correlate it until you actually go do it. But I could see him getting light, but I can't see him coming all the way off the ground. But like I said 2 minutes ago, I'm not that smart, so I don't really know.
How encouraged are you by the success that you've had so far in the playoffs and things like that, and people really being like, wait, this guy's actually a really legitimate, competitor in this?
Yeah, it's been a good 4 weeks for us, so have a long way to go though. Just need to keep executing at a high level. I think, I certainly know that we're capable of it, and I know that I'm capable of it, but we just have a long way to go and need to keep it up.